Joe Manchin, who's got a pretty good record with the NRA, Pat Toomey, Republican of Pennsylvania, who've introduced this compromise legislation today, an excellent record with the NRA. They support the Second Amendment to the Constitution. They want to expand background checks. Why are they wrong?
It's so easy to say you support the Second Amendment. I've heard Senator Schumer say that. He wants more gun control perhaps than anybody on Capitol Hill. So their affirmation of the Second Amendment
you can support the First Amendment to the Constitution, free speech, but you can't cry fire in a crowded theater. There are restrictions
because that's
on amendments.
Committing an actual crime. That's not a prior restraint on the
Killing someone with a gun is not a crime?
That's a crime, but you're talking about prior restraint. You and I didn't have to go through a censor before we went on this show. But what you're proposing is precisely that, and then keeping a registry of it.
You tweeted today, and I'll put it up on the screen, may Senator Toomey experience in 2016 the same as he did to Senator Specter, the late Senator Specter of Pennsylvania, in 2010. What kind of threat is that?
Well, it means that he ought to be held politically accountable, and the way to do it is in a primary.
So
just
because
like he
supports expanding background checks, you think his voters should kick him out of office?
We're going to be making that argument.
You're going to be going after him aggressively politically?
We're going to look for a viable candidate, and if we find one, then we will certainly.
Even though 90% of the American people are with him?
I think we already had a discussion about how credible those polls are.
Those polls are very credible. These are national polls.
We wouldn't have a pro-Second Amendment
The CNN ORC poll is very credible. CBS News poll, Quinnipiac University poll.
Not when it says that a huge majority of gun owners of America members,
they weren't talking about gun owners. They were talking about the American public.
NRA members,
our
and
poll
only
asked
5%.
The American public, where do they stand?
Your polls are hokum.
So let me just be clear. Any senator, Democrat or Republican, who votes for the Toomey Manchin compromise, you will go after politically.
Remember 1994?
Yes or no?
Remember 1994. That's when the Democrats thought they could get away with it. They believed your polls and didn't.
What about the Fox News polls? Do you believe the Fox News polls?
I'm not sure I believe any polls at this time. I don't think they know how to ask the right questions.